Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss about simple stresses and strains. As we all know, different materials may be elastic material, maybe plastic material, or maybe rigid material. Okay, so the elastic material, will be deform when it is subjected to load. Okay, so deformation will occur, but it will disappear when we remove the load from that material, okay, that body. Second type of material is plastic material. The plastic material, such type of material which will undergo a continuous deformation when it is subjected to external loading, and the deformation will be permanent. Okay, so in this case the deformation will be permanent, and in elastic material the deformation will be temporary, because when we remove the load, okay, then the deformation will disappear. Okay, for example, this is a rubber band. Okay, if we apply pulling force on this rubber band from both sides, then it will be stretched down. Okay, so deformation will occur, but when I remove the external force, pulling force, then it will get its original shape and the deformation will totally disappear. Okay, the third type of material may be rigid material. Okay, so in such material the material will not undergo any deformation. Okay, there will be no any deformation when subjected to external loading. Okay, but in practice no material is absolutely elastic, nor plastic, nor rigid. Okay, now let us discuss about mechanics. So there may be three types of mechanics: mechanics of rigid bodies, mechanics of deformable bodies, and mechanics of fluids. Okay, now what is mechanics of rigid body? See, from the name we can understand the study of rigid bodies. Okay, the mechanics of rigid body deals with the study of rigid bodies. Okay, where deformations of the bodies are not important. So this branch of mechanics is also known as applied mechanics. Okay, so this branch of mechanics is also known as applied mechanics. Mechanics of deformable body, it deals with the study of deformable bodies, and this branch of mechanics is also known as strength of material. Okay, now as we all know, a body when subjected to an external load undergoes a deformation. So against this deformation, the material of the body offers a resistance. Okay, for example, I am pulling this rubber band, so there is some internal force which is pulling the force, or which is trying to resist the force given on it. Okay, so this resistance force will be due to its strength. Okay, and which is tends to prevent the deformation. So the resistance offered by the body by virtue of its strength in the elastic range, the resistance offered by the material is proportional to the deformation. Okay, so when loaded member in equilibrium, when the resistance offered by the member against deformation and the applied load are in equilibrium, okay, when the member is incapable of offering the necessary resistance against the external loads, the deformation will continue, leading to the failure of the member. Okay, so when the internal forces or internal resistance is not capable to resist the external load coming on it, then the failure will occur. Okay, now any structure or its member is designed for two basic requirements, as we understood: the strength requirement and serviceability requirement. Strength requirement, why? So the strength of the material or strength of the structure should be strong enough to resist the forces. Okay, the material should be strong enough to resist the forces. Serviceability requirement, so according to that requirement we can say its deformation should not be excessive. Okay, means it should be within specific limit, so that deformation occurs up to some limit, but failure will be prevented. Okay. To understand stress and strain, we should understand about elasticity, or we should know what is elasticity. So elasticity is the property of a body to regain its original position after the removal. See, after the removal of external force. Okay, as we seen the example of rubber band. Okay, so when we are removing the external force, it will get its original position, its original size, shape. Okay, so based on the elasticity and deformation, material may be classified as follows. Okay, so material may be classified under 5 heads. It may be elastic material, elastoplastic material, plastic material, ductile material, or brittle material. Okay, let us discuss one by one. Elastic material. So as we understand, elastic material will deform when it is subjected to external force, but it will get its original shape and size after removal of external force. So we can say the deformation, so or it deforms, but it disappears completely. Okay, deformation deforms and then disappears. Deformation disappears completely. Okay, or we can say it recovers fully. Okay, it will recover fully its original shape. Okay, fully recovers. Second type of material is elastoplastic material. So deformation exists. Okay, so it deforms. Okay, elastoplastic material is also deforms. Deformation exists partially. So we can say partially recovers. Partially recovers, not fully recovers. Okay. So if a material fully recovers its original shape and size, then it is elastic material. And if the deformation exists partially, even after the removal of external force, then the material is said to be elastoplastic. So the material comes back to its original shape and size partially, and some permanent deformation remains. So we can say some permanent deformation will be there. Okay. Now third type of material based on elasticity and deformation may be plastic material. So if a material doesn't regain its original shape, okay, so it deforms. Yes, plastic material is also deforms. Plastic material will also deform. Elastic material deformation disappears totally. Elastoplastic recovers partially, but some permanent deformation. In this, continuous deformation. Okay, so in plastic material, deformation occurs continuously. So original size, original shape will not regain. Okay, in this type of material, and it will remain deformed even after removal of external force. Okay, so it is said to be plastic. So deformation is permanent. Okay, continuous deformation and permanent deformation. Okay. Ductile material. If the material undergoes, see, large deformation. If the material undergoes large deformation before failure, then it is called ductile material. Okay, but when tensile force is applied, okay, so till now we have studied that the material that can be drawn into wires, okay, from like metal, steel, copper wires, okay, for example. So that wire is drawn by applying tensile forces on a metal and passing it through a small hole. Okay, for example, steel. We can give example: steel, copper, okay, wires. So wire is an example of this type of metal is example of ductile material. So basically, if the material undergoes a large deformation before failure, when tensile force is applied, okay, we can say tensile force in such a way, tensile force is applied and it is converting in wires, then it is called ductile material. Last one is brittle material. So if material doesn't undergo any deformation, okay, means no deformation, okay, or we can say such material doesn't undergo any deformation on application of forces, okay, and fails due to rupture. Such material fails due to rupture. For example, we can say glass, okay. So glass will not deform when we apply any force on it, okay, but it will fail due to rupture, okay. So we can say if a material doesn't undergo any deformation on application of force and fails due to rupture is called brittle material, okay.